What is going on? Hello. Looks like the stream is live. It's only my second time doing a live stream like this, so I'm still getting used to all the particulars. Please bear with me, and apologize for all the devices that are going off right at this moment. Okay, looks like some people are connecting. They're on the stream. We got Ro, we got Joseph Burton, we got Sockbird. This is great. This is great, guys. Awesome. Thank you so much. Makes me feel like these are fun. We're gonna have some fun time. Still, like I said, still working on the camera. Got to get it figured out. Tried some different camera options this morning, but whole combination of my phone didn't have enough operating system. Is that a thing? Phone's operating system's out of date. Computer's operating system's out of date, so I got to get all that stuff figured out. But I think I found some cool software that'll let me actually use my phone to stream to a streaming server option inside of the computer. If I can get it all working, kind of use the phone as a camera source to stream to the computer, and then I could have multiple sources, which would be kind of fun. You could have one camera, two camera, thing like that. Anyways, we are drinking Baby Dragon today. Let's get that out there. See if you guys can see that. Can you guys see that? Look at that. There you go. Now this is good stuff. This is good stuff. If you guys have been around us for a while, you probably know that. Yeah, maybe I can prop that up so it's easier to see. Or maybe not. It's all good. It'll have to be like that. Yeah, so if you guys have been around us for a while, you know that we source a pretty awesome material from Kunlushan called Slumbering Dragon. Can everybody hear me all right? It's not mic's not too hot. Can't really change the settings right now. I tried to move it a little further away. Some of you guys said the mic was a little too hot last time, so trying to take some of that feedback, incorporate it. So yeah, Slumbering Dragon is really potent material. It's from Kunlushan, way deep in the forest outside of one of the more remote villages. There's a handful of villages in the Kunlushan area. It's called Village 10. Nobody actually lives in that village anymore. They realized they literally built the village right in the middle of the old growth tea forest, and that's just not a good idea. They've learned. So they moved most of the villagers about a mile down the road. Government built them some fancy houses and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. So they've got some really nice houses, and saves on the wear and tear of people living, in the garden. So the old growth tea garden is actually now just full of cows and chickens and goats and all their animals, which is interesting because that actually adds a nice little fertilizer to the tea trees. Anyways, so that's Village 10. That's where Kunlu Xiaochamu comes with Hey Cha Holiday said he's boiling up some KXQM. We call it KXQM. Stands short for the Chinese Kunlu Xiaochamu KXQM, which is really good material. One of my favorites. Kunlu Xiaochamu means small arbor trees, so it's the younger than the big trees, which is younger than the old trees. So probably less than 100 years old. But Kunlu Xiaochamu is really awesome, really good material. And if you're in that village and you hike about 3 hours up the hill out of the village, you get to where the Slumbering Dragon trees are. They're called Tallpole Galgon, and there's pictures of them on our website. They're just gorgeous trees. They just grow 30, 40 feet tall. Leaves are all on the top. You got to climb them up. Slumbering Dragon is amazing material, but it's really expensive. It costs us a lot to purchase it. It costs us a lot to have it picked. Because of the difficulties, they can only pick and process and harvest a total of 2 kilos of final material per day, and that's not a lot. It takes them a long time to go up there. Sometimes they fall out of the trees. So they just climb up them barefoot. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to offer a little bit of that Slumbering Dragon experience in a slightly more affordable package. So that's where we came up with Baby Dragon, which is kind of like Slumbering Dragon Light. And that's not to diminish this tea at all. This tea is crazy potent. So yeah, somebody mentioned the other day why I don't brew in teapots. So I thought I would brew in a teapot today. It's actually one of my favorite teapots. If you guys can see that there, this is wood fired. It's from Jianshui. It's been hand carved It's gorgeous. I really love this. Really love this teapot. So we'll brew it in this today, which is probably kind of nice. Young Slumbering Dragon material is still really potent. This tea is this tea is strong. This tea does not mess around. It's a potent little poo. Primarily because of the wild tree material. Just gives it a really strong natural bitterness and a very unique funk. Probably the best way to describe it. There's a very interesting aroma flavor combo that is very unique to wild tree material. So for this, it's not the pure wild tree material. We've mixed it in with some of the Kunlu Xiao Chao Mu, some of the stuff in the other areas, and I think it works out really nicely to kind of give a more affordable intro into Kunlu wild material. Hey Cha Holiday says, I've got a love-hate with Slumbering Dragon. Tastes too much like blueberries, but something that's very appealing still. Yeah, I totally understand. I certainly don't consider Slumbering Dragon a daily drinker. Something like Believe or Beneath an Emerald Sea, like I can drink that all day long. Slumbering Dragon for me, it's potent. You know, I mean, I will save it for a special session. Got some people over. It has a really strong like tea energy, and it's overpowering a lot of the time. You know, even for me, and I drink a lot of tea, so I play it slow. And I already know that from this, even this material right now is this blend has actually come out quite strong. So if anybody was interested in getting something like a Slumbering Dragon experience, but you didn't want to spend the price, because Slumbering Dragon is expensive. It's like $100, $120 a cake. And these ones here, I think we got them half that, $64.99, $69.99, somewhere around there, which is a pretty good deal, because this still has a lot of the potency that Slumbering Dragon has. But the little bit of the edge has been taken off. It's balanced a little bit more with the other Kunlu Sheng pu'er. And I already know, like from my experiences with Slumbering Dragon, like that material ages really nicely. The Slumbering Dragon material that we picked and processed and pressed in 2014 is just so good right now. So good. I don't even want to drink it because I've only got like just a handful, maybe like 2 300-gram cakes left. All right, what's this say? Pauls says, now I am tempted to drink Slumbering Dragon. It's 1 a.m. here in Germany. Yeah, that might not be the best idea. 1 a.m. session with Slumbering Dragon. It'll either be the best experience of your life, or you're in for a long night. Even myself, I knew I had to get a good meal into me before I started this session. It's just going to be me drinking it. Llama's in the back room with the kids. So I ate a nice meal before it. And I did not do that the other day. I had had a session with it on Tuesday, and yeah, no, it's still strong. It does not mess around, and it's not it's bitter, but it's more of a body feeling, a really strong body feeling. I mean, you feel it in your face, you feel it in your head, and it can be strong. You know, even for, like I said, somebody like me that drinks tea all the time, it's a strong tea to session, and the other Sheng pu'er balances it out nicely, but this one keeps the edge. Cute wrapper. I think belies the strength of it a little bit. I'm also using a new cup today. It's not a new cup. I've had it for a long time, but I haven't had it on the stream before. This is a really nice cup. Also wood-fired from a dragon kiln in Huaning. All of the Huaning stuff often has these really nice like seafoam green and like sky blue colors in it, and that all comes from locally sourced minerals, glazes, and stuff that they make from material that they mine in and around the village there, which is pretty cool. So they make all their own glazes, and they wood-fired this one in the dragon kiln, which they really don't do very much. Small stuff doesn't handle very well in the dragon kiln, but we were working with the guy that owns the dragon kiln, and he had a couple boxes of pretty awesome teacups, and we just bought all of it because I know that they don't do too much. course, we had to buy all of them, which meant some of them weren't as good as others, but this one was actually really nice. Ty says, how would you find the difference in energy between something like Slumbering Dragon and Altered State? That's a really good question. Slumbering Dragon is still probably the stronger energy-wise. I've had some sessions with Slumbering Dragon that were just really hard to describe. Very, very intense, mentally focused T energy experiences. I think Altered State is like a little bit more balanced, but Slumbering Dragon has the stronger T energy experience. Absolutely. Let's see. Hey, Holiday says, I have to be down to less than half. Ooh, you're down to half of your KXQM cake. That's it's time to get some more. Put that one in storage. Buy another one. Ro asks, do you sell the Kunlu material that you mixed in with this tea? We sell some of it. Some of it is actually in our Kunlu Xiaochamu. So in this year, we didn't press any KXQM cakes, but we did. We do have a plant Kunlu elemental tea balls, and I think we sold some Kunlu loose this year. So if you've drank KXQM, there is some KXQM in this, and then some other stuff from some other areas in some other gardens in Kunlu Shan. H.A. Holiday wants to know if we're doing any more KXQM at this point. Yeah, no, absolutely. I will be doing more KXQM in the future. I like it. Sometimes it depends on what the price point is. It's gotten pricier the last couple years, and it's interesting. I really like the Kunlu material. It's just sometimes you can get maybe teas that offer a better total package at a better price point in other places, and so it's a kind of a matter of where we want to put all of our eggs, I guess. So we usually definitely buy a certain amount of it, put some into this blend, put some into the Kunlu elemental balls, but then I think we focused on getting some different material this year. Sometimes I think the KXQM material is just slightly too expensive, even though I thoroughly enjoy drinking it myself. Sockbert says, sometimes I think I'm the only tea drinker, Gong Fu Cha anyways, who couldn't care less about tea energy. Maybe. No, there's more. There's other people that don't. If you want to get high, yeah. I mean, I hear you, man. And it's a valid point. But I don't think it takes into account the people that it actually is a big deal for. And it's not something that I always look for and search for, but it's certainly something that I take into account when I'm considering a tea for purchase, what the energy is like. And it does affect people differently, and it probably comes down to some about metabolism and different body chemistry. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, right now, my even from these couple sips right here, I can feel a lot of stuff going on in my head, things that I wouldn't normally have when I'm having something else. Drank a lot of coffee in my life, never had experiences like that, so it's not entirely tied to coffee. I don't think it's tied to a placebo effect. I get it from some teas reliably, and I don't get it from other teas reliably. But, H.A. Holiday, you should definitely, yes, just buy Baby Dragon in the meantime. That's the way to do it. I think it's actually a pretty good deal for what it is, and I think it's going to age awesomely. I don't think I would actually right now put Baby Dragon into a daily drinker category. I think it's still a very special tea, something I would save for having with sessions when other people were over. But I think once the Slumbering Dragon material in here ages a little bit, kind of creates a little extra balance in this cake. I think it's going to be something really special. Rose says, first time I had tried Slumbering Dragon, I had to lay down for a bit. My first experience was strong energy tea. Now that I got used to it, Slumbering Dragon is one of my favorites. Yeah, no, it's if anytime somebody says that they really don't know what tea energy is, or they don't experience it, I'll brew them up a really strong session with Slumbering Dragon, and then you just can't doubt it. It'll come in there. Sockbert not included. I'm sure he's the sole exception in the tea world. No tea energy works on him. Joseph Burton, yeah, I usually don't drink tea for energy. I find that it tends to be wildly inconsistent. Depends more on the day for me. Some teas have crazy energy though. Yeah, it's about the same for me. You know, sometimes I can have multiple sessions with a tea that have varying levels of tea energy, but Slumbering Dragon nearly always taste it, feel it right away. Oh, H.A. Holiday had somebody recently gave you a sample of Slumbering Dragon, 2016. Yeah, that stuff, you know, get 4 or 5 years age on the Slumbering Dragon material, and it starts to lose a little bit of that really intense bitterness that I think some people find off-putting. It becomes really rewarding tea. Yeah, you're right, Sockbird. I mean, there are people that will over-intensify claims of tea energy for, you know, marketing purposes, but I don't buy into the concept that it doesn't exist or needs a confirmation bias. I myself am pretty open about, at least I think I am open about trying to be honest about expectations and experiences. So I don't know. H.A. Holiday, can't drink coffee, so tea usually works though. I still like coffee. I do still like coffee. I don't drink it very much, but especially living in the city of Seattle, it's incredible coffee here, and not just, you know, your average, ordinary, you know, pumpkin latte thing. There's incredible, like, natural coffees. You know, just straight Americano. Just doing like a single shot of espresso, but pulled from, you know, unblended beans, single origin. Crazy good tea, good coffee experiences to be had there. Same thing with like a, you know, like simple pour over type thing with some quality beans that are like freshly roasted and freshly ground. There's some really amazing coffee experiences to be had. I do think that the potential for flavor and aroma and experience in the tea world is larger than coffee, but there's some pretty cool stuff to be had in coffee. Stumptown, Rose says Stumptown. Yeah, Stumptown's awesome. Started in Portland, which used to be called Stumptown because they cut down all the trees and left the stumps. Stumptown's got a really nice roastery in Capitol Hill in Seattle. They offer free coffee pairings and cuppings and tastings every Sunday afternoon. So I would spend a lot of time in there just kind of developing my coffee palate long before I found tea. I like Stumptown. They're good people, good product. Some really tasty stuff. There's a handful of other really cool coffee shops in the Seattle area. H.A. Holiday says coffee makes him feel like he'll explode. Occasionally does a good pour over a macchiato. Yeah, I hear you. Like I said, I don't do coffee so much anymore, but when I do, I like to have a nice good session with it. So this tea's got it's got this one characteristic that comes through in Slumbering Dragon that makes the liquid kind of feel slippery. It's interesting. It's an interesting experience. It's what would be the scientific term? There's a lubricity to it. It feels. I guess it could feel oily. But it swallows so easy. But then there's this lingering bitterness that just kind of like sits on the back of the throat. And this is all. I mean, if you've had Slumbering Dragon and you had this, like, you'd definitely be able to know that there was Slumbering Dragon material in there, because it really just it's got a lot of that. So I'm pretty excited, pretty glad that the blend actually came out that way. Sometimes you don't know until you get something blended up, pressed into a cake. You don't know what it's going to do. Sometimes the blend can go one way. If you've got a 50-50 blend, or even if you've got 60-40, 40-60, something like that. Certain characteristics in teas, even though you experiment with them a lot, once they're actually like pressed, because the pressing is basically kind of like steeping a tea. Just one quick steep, really high pressure, high temperature, steam, and it releases a lot of those juices, and then those juices kind of just soak back into the other juices and then get all like pressed in. It just kind of creates this like pu'er tea pressed soup thing. And I think it can actually, there's a characteristic that comes out during that pressing process that is hard to actually characterize if you're just blending and testing in a gaiwan, which is an interesting thing. So there's a certain level of the unknown when you go to press the material and what it's going to turn out to be. It's not as much of a mystery for Sheng pu'er. Sheng pu'er pretty closely comes down to taste about as much as you could expect it to taste to what you originally blended. Show pu'er is actually wildly different. Pressed show pu'er can taste dramatically different than show pu'er than it went in as. So that makes it a little trickier sometimes. But I'm glad that the Slumbering Dragon essence of this tea came out as the foremost thing in your palate when you're drinking it. That was definitely the idea. Joseph Burton says, maybe one day I'll be able to drink coffee. I used to not be able to handle Sheng, but now I drink it every day. So who knows? Yeah, I guess it's hard for me to think of coffee being an acquired taste. I guess I just drank coffee all my life. I don't know. Started hanging around the coffee pitcher at church when I was a kid. All the church men were there, and I'd sidle up there and ask for some, and they'd all laugh at me but give me a little bit. And it's kind of where I started drinking coffee. That was maybe like 6 or 7. It's funny, they're always just like, it'll stunt your growth, it'll put hair on your chest, and it actually did. I'm pretty short. It's just kind of funny. So yeah, I've never really thought of coffee being an acquired taste, because I've just always kind of drank it. But yeah, if you're there's some really interesting experiences to be had in the coffee world. Find a nice roaster near you who does like hand roasting, and see what sort of magic they could pull for you. But yeah, Joseph, yeah, you're right. You do spend enough on tea. You don't need another beverage hobby. Yeah, you're right. Just save all your beverage resources for the needy people in the tea industry. We'll thank you. We'll thank you for it. Ro asks, have you explored Scotch? I've noticed I can apply some of what I learned from tea flavors to Scotch. You absolutely can. I have spent some time exploring Scotch in different alcohols. Scotch itself is not exactly my thing, because it starts to delve into flavors that I don't necessarily find appealing. I have had some Scotches that I absolutely love. I don't necessarily like the peatiness that comes through some of those like bog heavy Scotches. I don't know what it is. My body just doesn't appreciate it. I absolutely love tequila. I love mezcal. There's some really amazing experiences that can be had with that, especially if you're trying to compare or consider them with teas. But yeah, anytime you spend enough time with something from an aficionado perspective, when you sit down there and you're taking time with something like Gong Fu tea brewing, you're taking time to understand the tea and appreciate the flavor and the aroma and the experience that it offers. You can absolutely translate that into anything that has that level of curated experience. I can totally understand if I go to a wine tasting, like how to appreciate wine or how to appreciate alcohols and stuff, or coffee. It's really interesting once you kind of get into that mindset. It's easy to move over to other stuff. So that's awesome that you were seeing the same thing. Oh, Joseph Burton says it's not the taste; it's the energy and the caffeine. That makes sense. Yeah, you might be a little bit more caffeine sensitive. We've got a lot of customers that are also pretty caffeine sensitive. They generally stick more with like the Huang Pian teas, or they just use like a lower like leaf to water ratio, so they still get a little bit of the tea experience. Yeah, with this right now, a couple sessions in, I got a pretty intense I've got a pretty intense throat bitterness building up from the wild tree material, and just a very it feels like my brain is more dense. I think who was it that let's see, Oolong Owl, or somebody at one of the tea tastings, said that one of these teas felt like their head was like being like squeezed like in a vice. It just feels really, really, really tight. How's that? Was it in a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? The most powerful drink in the universe. What was that called? The somebody will help correct me. They said it tasted like you were having your head smashed in by a gold brick wrapped with a lemon or something like that, or a lemon wrapped with a gold brick. I can totally see that. Like a really strong session with this just kind of feels like you're just being beaten about the head, but incredibly delicately. Something like that. What was the name of that drink? Yeah, somebody will post it up here. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Most expensive drink, or the rarest drink, the most powerful drink in the galaxy. Why can't I think of it? Waiting for somebody to pop into chat, remind me what the name of that drink is called. But yeah, if anybody's seen the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or read the books, Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster. Joseph Burton for the win. Thanks for jumping in there and helping me out with that. I was just had a brain fart. James Wood, what's going on, man? Thanks for jumping in. Have you noticed a taste difference when you pour directly into a cup as opposed to using a gong dao bei? I have. I don't know that I spent a lot of time pouring directly into a cup, but I could see that. Yeah, there could be a couple different things. If so this teapot holds about 2 cups worth. So if I poured just like directly into that cup, I may get a lighter concentration if it's on the front, and then the second one might be a heavier concentration. I know some people kind of go from the cup and they kind of go back and forth and they kind of like mix it right there. So but when you're pouring into a gong dao bei, you're definitely taking out, you're definitely creating like a final blend of all of them right there. But then it also is offering an intermediary cooling stage, so it actually cools in the cup, and then in the gong dao bei, and then you pour it into the cup. I could see how there could be a difference in taste with that. Could you describe the difference? Let me know what you were experiencing. Ty says, "How do you go about cleaning your gong dao bei? Got quite the stain on it." Oh, mine's got quite the stain on it, making it look amber in color. I am not always the best about cleaning my teaware. I usually, after a session, I run some boiling water through it. I'll put boiling water through it before a session. I'll take a coarser paper towel, and I'll just kind of give it a buffing on the inside and the outside. And then realistically, I don't really worry about it. It gets some nice little staining and stuff here. It doesn't bother me so much. I know it really affects some people. It's up to you. You can use like some baking soda cleaners, or there's some slightly abrasive cleaners. It's just glass, so you really don't have to worry about it unless your gong dao bei was something else. But yeah, that's what I'd suggest. Getting a little bit of a abrasive, like maybe even just like putting some baking soda, on the end of a little ball of paper towel, just kind of like working it over with a little bit of hot water. It should clean up too fine. It's just some tea oils that are on the surface. It hasn't actually like altered the glass or etched in or anything like that. Hey, Holiday says sponge on a stick. Yeah, that's good. So it's something that you can get some little get a little bit of elbow grease, a little bit of force down into it. There we go. We got all sorts of good suggestions in the chat. Paul says citric acid and sodium carbonate. There you go. That's the trick. There's probably some special. I mean, tea, special glass cleaning stuff that you can get that may be special. But I don't really think it needs something special. You probably should be able to figure it out with whatever your regular household cleaning stuff is. Like just some soap, maybe like a soak, and soak in really hot water. Just get off some of the oils. It should be looking good enough in no time. James Wood prefers directly into the cup. Notices that if you pour the tea into an extra vessel, it taste becomes more bitter. I can even say the cha-chi is minimized. Oh, that's very that's a very interesting observation. So I am using a teapot today. Specifically, I wanted to take a little bit of the edge off of this tea. This tea is still pretty potent. I had a session with it a couple days ago, and it was just even for me, it's a little too much. So this tea will definitely do with a little bit of aging. I think in even just like 2 or 3 years, I think this tea is going to be a little powerhouse, or really a more mellow powerhouse. There you go. James says all you need is a magic eraser to clean all tea wares. Is that a brand? It's a brand, right? It's a brand's scrubbing thing, magic eraser. It's what is it got? It's slightly abrasive, right? It's like a micro abrasive. It kind of like works to kind of do like a little polish on the surface. Dr. Clean. There we go. Nice. So you got some good suggestions Ty. Once you figure it out, you'll have to make a little video, post it to YouTube. Here's the best way to clean your teaware. Actually, there's probably 1,000 of those videos already. But if there's not, there's a niche. Go for it. Lamu Dawa on the stream. Lamu Dawa says pu'er seed powder can work too. She's absolutely right. Pu'er seed powder can work. We do have some of that here. I should actually put it on the site. Maybe some people can get it for Christmas. It just comes in like really big, like a nice big thing of pu'er seed powder. I guess I could take that and put it into some smaller tins. That's not a bad idea. I have a bunch of small tins left over. I can take the pu'er tea seed powder that we have, portion it out into smaller tins, and I could sell those tins. Pu'er seed powder is interesting because it's literally just pu'er tree seeds, and they take it and they just like crush it down into a powder, and it maintains that saponin content, which is native in the tea plant, and it creates a nice little washing powder. Some of the people that we work with in Kunming they actually wash their hair with it. I'm not tried that, but yeah, I'm gonna have to see if I can get that on the site, because I think there's some people that would be interested in using that. It's kind of fun stuff. Ty says could be interesting to try out in other ways. Maybe good for seasoning things like tea eggs if it has a decent taste. I don't know that I would actually. I don't know that I would eat it. Although, I mean, I do use the pu'er tea seed oil for cooking, so I know that is actually edible. I don't know that I would use I don't know that I would eat the tea powder. I haven't tried it yet. Don't recommend it just because I don't know. James Wood wants to know how Danger Zone is tasting nowadays. Sure, it's aging really well. Danger Zone's doing great. I probably had a session with it maybe like a month ago. It was like a really nice session. In fact, I think, yeah, that was my the last of my wrapper. If you guys don't know, that's Danger Zone. Saving the wrapper because I like it. I don't know, I've got tons of wrappers, but I still save wrappers. Finished off that cake, and I think it was doing quite nicely. So about 5 or 6 steeps into this tea here, it's still got some nice energy for me, but it has certainly balanced down the bitterness, but not by much. It still has you still notice it. You still notice it when you're drinking it. I'm gonna be a little tea high after this session. I can tell. It's a good thing that I had a lot to eat for the session, because needed something in my belly. Generally Sheng pu'er tea doesn't really affect me, but the wild Kunlu material certainly does. So I guess it's what is it, Friday? It's Friday now. Does anybody have any weekend plans? Anybody doing anything exciting? I think doing some stuff on the site, getting things ready for Black Friday, and got a lot of inventory from Seattle to put onto the site. Trying to make things a little bit easier for people based in the US who are ordering stuff and want it to get in time for Christmas, but nothing from our new collection. But a lot of our existing cakes, Dark Depths, Lowrider, Intrigue, 2016 Emerald Sea, Altered State, Troublemaker, Memorial, a bunch of that stuff will have a decent inventory here in Seattle so that we can have it be able to get shipped out quickly. Joseph Burton plans on playing video games. What are you playing? Reading books and drinking tea. I started playing a little bit of Among Us the other day just for fun. I've been watching fun videos of people playing it, and I was like, I got to figure that out. So kind of having fun playing with that. Still looking forward to Cyberpunk 2077. We're very excited about that. Other than that, it's just been T-Biz and Kid Biz. Oh, Joseph Burton's been playing Red Dead Redemption 2. So jealous. I love Red Dead and everything in that series. I've not played Red Dead Redemption 2, but Red Dead Redemption 1 is like easily one of my favorite games ever. Certainly in the top 5. Love that game. Love the cowboy genre. I love things that are set in the Wild West. I love the idea of gunslingers and bandits and horseback and trains and bank jobs and things like that. So I really enjoyed playing Red Dead Redemption. Oh, Ro played some Overwatch last week. Ronan says, I'm supposed to do the Seattle Underground Tour, but it's limited to 10 people. That's probably good. It'll be nice. It'll be intimate. Have I actually done the Seattle Underground? Did I do it once? I had to have done it once. I think I did it once. I used to work right near the offices, right near where they start the Underground Tour. I used to work right there in Pioneer Square. I think I did actually go on it once. It's a very informative tour. There's all sorts of Seattle's a really fascinating city. If you're into crime and prostitution, that's pretty much what Seattle was born on. Logging and whores. Seattle. That is Seattle. So you learn all about that in the Underground Tour. So if you guys don't know about Seattle and Seattle's Underground Tour, Seattle burned down to the ground a long time ago, primarily because literally everything was built of wood, including the sewer system. The sewer system, the plumbing, in all the buildings was wood. And that's fine when the plumbing is full of water, but when it's not, like a sewer pipe that might not be always full of sewage, a fire that started in one building just spread through the sewer to every other building and very quickly burned the city down. So instead of just, a lot of the buildings had brick on the base and stuff like that, but so they just built everything up, just put the streets up like one level higher. So the old original like Seattle ground floor is now underneath the ground. So you can still go back down there and see the original footings of the buildings, which is pretty awesome. James Wood, can you tell us the ratio of Little Dragon Tea Wild versus other Kunlun material? I don't remember exactly. There's definitely more than 50%, maybe higher than that. There's more than 50%, maybe more than 60% of the Slumbering Dragon. I don't remember the exact ratios. I get pretty close to a point where it's about what I want it, and then I start like moving the numbers back and forth a little bit to just try and make it a little bit more affordable. Try to get the price point down to something that's acceptable in the range of products that we offer. So I don't remember exactly, but it's more than 50%. It's a lot of Slumbering Dragon, which was and it's a Slumbering Dragon 2019 material Slumbering Dragon. So a Slumbering Dragon that was already been aged for a year. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, Joseph Burton, you've been playing Red Dead on PC. Yeah, that might be tough on your PC if you've got a slower. It'd be tough on my PCs. All of my PCs are like 10 years old, and they're all Macs, so they wouldn't run Red Dead anyway. So, a friend is giving me a PS4 so that I can play Cyberpunk 2077. So I'm excited about that. So I may be tempted to get a copy of Red Dead Redemption 2, play it on that. Especially if I can turn it into like a gaming / tea stream. I don't know. Still, maybe just like a little bit of a pipe dream. But then I'd actually be able to kind of do two things at once, be able to play some games and still, consider it work for doing tea tastings and stuff. Jake Knapp, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining. Your road trip, you got done? Jake just went on an awesome road trip. If you guys don't know who Jake is, Jake actually did the artwork for two of our rappers so far. Jake did the artwork for Danger Zone, which turned out super awesome. And he's done the artwork for Moon Princess, which has just hit the site recently. If you guys aren't following Jake Knapp on Instagram, you should. It's Knapp pu'er, KNAPPUER, I think. So yeah, Jake, you just went on a road trip, busy working, and you're just looking forward to chill. That sounds like a great weekend plan. I like the pictures. You took a lot of really awesome pictures on your road trip. It was really great. And you took our tea road trip with you. We've got a show Puerh called Road Trip. So I love when people actually take road trip on a road trip and drink it and take pictures. It's fun. Hey to Holiday says he's been painting up my Scavin. I don't know what Scavin is, so you might have to let me know. Those gaming miniatures that I'm not sure of, possibly. Hey to Holiday says got a unit of clan rats in Doomflare right now. You guys are I am not in the same nerd sphere. Are you guys talking about gaming miniatures? Rat people miniatures? I don't even know what that is. Oh, okay, it's from Warhammer. All right, I know what Warhammer is. I've just never actually played it. So is the Skaven sub clan in the in the Warhammer universe? Ty says, "Fine, I can't really drink. Fine, I can't really play video games and drink tea during the wiring in our house. So bad. You have the Xbox and the kettle plugged in at the same time. The power trips. That is so unfortunate. Is that like the power for the whole house, or just like the power like on that circuit? I just spent a decent amount of time rewiring a house that Lamo and I have been working on. So I have I've got electrical on my brain. Yeah, you gotta figure that out. Your house wiring should definitely be able to handle a kettle and the Xbox at the same time. I would see about putting a kettle on a different circuit or the Xbox on a different circuit. But if it's blowing your whole house at the same time, yeah, that's not good. That's not good. That's bad. That's bad. Is it a rental? You got to get your landlord out there if you have a decent landlord. I don't know. That would bother me living in a house. That makes me think that there are more things going wrong electrically in that house than just the breaker. If it's an older house, I'm worried about copper to aluminum wiring that's hidden in the ceiling and walls. That could cause something like that. It could also cause a fire and burn you down. So that's definitely not good. And that is exactly what we found in the house that we have been fixing up. I found copper wired into aluminum, bare in the ceiling, not in a junction box, not even using those cute little twist caps, not even wrapped in electrical tape, just aluminum wired into copper, just left bare and exposed in the ceiling. That will literally burn down a house. But the house didn't burn down for as long as they had it that way. So, but had to tear it all out. That was a huge job. But we're just starting to kind of get the house back, put back together. Ty says, just the power on the second level at least, and yeah, it's an old house, so hoping to find an electrician that's willing to drive all the way out here to fix it. That's tough. Electricians cost a lot. You know, I ended up just kind of doing most of the work myself, was able to kind of figure things out. Like at a minimum, well, unless you've got somebody on the bottom floor, I'd run like an extension cord upstairs, put the kettle on that or something like that. Do something to try not to overload whatever that circuit is, because that circuit should not be blowing on an Xbox and a kettle. I guess it depends on the kettle. Kettles actually take a decent amount of power. At least 10 amps. A lot of kettles are even 15 amps. You could maybe look for a kettle that was like specifically lower amperage, maybe like a 10 amp kettle or something like that. That's what we have to do when we're at the Northwest Tea Festival. So we get like power to our booth, but we only have like a single 15 amp circuit, and so we've got two 15 amp kettles, and I just can't run them both at the same time. So it might be worth it to look at your kettle amperage. Hey, Holiday, your dad's house did when he was a kid? Yeah, I've heard horror stories of electrical stuff. Like wrong electrical will literally burn down homes, and it happened a lot more. It happened a lot more to older homes, not necessarily because of code stuff, although they didn't have a lot of code things back then. It primarily came down to the war. World War II used up a significant amount of the nation's copper supply, and so as a short-term stopgap, they just wired homes with aluminum wiring, which isn't bad. It can work. I mean, aluminum, conducts electricity. It doesn't conduct it as efficiently as copper, and it doesn't handle heat as well. But you can certainly run electricity over aluminum, and it's fine as long as everything is aluminum. The real issue is when aluminum starts to meet copper, and then it can start to cause some corrosion, and then that causes like arcing, and that causes like bad connections and things like that. So fully stripping out all aluminum is really the best. If that's the issue that you're having in your home, then I feel really bad for you, especially if it's your home and you have to pay for it to get fixed, because that's just not going to be fun. Not at all. Ty says, you can drill a hole through the floor and run a cable up. Keep an eye out for lower amp kettles, as they would be the easier solution. Yeah, run an extension cord up. Just at least get the kettle on something different. You don't want to so that way, like, I mean, because if your kettle blows a circuit, like, who really cares if the kettle blows a circuit? But if your Xbox is on that and you're in the middle of a game session, then that's just horrible. So get the Xbox nice and reliable on a solid electrical connection, and then just get the kettle on a different one. So if it blows, you just don't care. It doesn't ruin your game, at least. That's my tea and electrical advice. Let's see. Hey, Holiday, I think the house was fairly new at the time, and it was only in the early 70s. Yeah, that would make sense. I just assumed that your dad was as old as my dad, but clearly that would be an incorrect assumption. So your dad's probably my age then. So if it was the early 70s, then your dad's probably my age. That's kind of funny. I was just thinking like the 1940s or 30s, because that's when my dad would have been a kid. Sudden power outages are bad for computers anyways. Oh, they're horrible. Computers hate it. They want very, very, very reliable power. Even when you get like subtle little like gray outs or brown outs and stuff like that. Yeah, computers hate that. It just messes up everything. Even if there's like subtle power fluctuations on a single board because you plugged in too many USB devices. Computers, they want good, nice, solid, clean power. Might actually be a good idea buying an uninterruptible power supply UPS for your Xbox, just to kind of like clean it out, clean the power. Because if it's continuing to do that, you're probably gonna fry your Xbox eventually if you get too many power outages. Torn Ham, what was the sheet music for on the hidden song wrapper? The sheet music on the hidden song wrapper was for fun. That's the hidden song. and it is still hidden. Nobody has actually figured out what the hidden song was. A lot of people have tried to figure out the hidden song. Many valiant attempts at guessing it have all been wrong. So we kind of made it into a little contest. If you guess the hidden song that is on the wrapper, then you get a free tone of hidden song, which is 5 cakes, which is pretty cool. Offer still stands. Competition is still open. And yeah, good luck. Yehu Isla says, hello. Hello back to you. Thanks for joining us. Ty says, never heard of that before. I'll search for it after the stream. Yeah, you can get a UPS is basically a really giant like battery. It's going to be really heavy. You're going to want to get like a heavy duty one. They're maybe probably not cheap. You want like at least $100. It's a big giant battery, and you connect one end into your wall, and it charges up the battery. It basically cleans all the power, and then you plug your Xbox or whatever other computer devices you have into that, and it stops any of like the spikes. So basically, the device that's down power from the UPS becomes powered from the battery that's in there. And then you can walk over to the wall and you can pull it out of the wall, or the circuit can break. And you got like 5 or 10 minutes of like pure power that's coming straight off of that battery. So there'll be time enough to like save the game or do something like that, or run down and flip the circuit breaker. Yeah, if that's happening a lot, be definitely a good idea. Or you will eventually just fry your Xbox, which you probably don't want to do. They're not super cheap. There we go. Got some leaves that are stuck up in this. There we go. So we had done some test Crimson Lotus tea live streams a couple years ago. Actually, when we were at Phoenix Tea, we were doing some. I was doing some live streaming, some tests of some live streaming. I had like OBS running, and I was doing some like camera setups and kind of like playing around with it. I brought another computer with and was kind of doing some tests and stuff. The problem was we just could never get the wireless internet at Phoenix Tea was pretty poor, and so it just couldn't handle a quality live stream. Tried to do it over our cellular data, and just the resolution was just too poor. But I found a backup of these live streams that we did in YouTube Studio as I was trying to work through and test out some of these live streaming options. And it was really cool because it was like a 2-hour live stream, and it was just, it was me, it was sitting there, like Salamo and I are drinking tea. Our friend Andrew Goodman was there. My friend Anton was there. He's back in Russia now. My other friend Jonathan was there. And Gemma was there. Gemma was like 4 months old, and she's only like this big. We were just like passing her back and forth like across the tea table and showing her into the camera and stuff. So that was actually really exciting to be able to kind of see that, because I had totally forgotten about that being there. So we showed the video to Gemma and tried to make her guess who this like little tiny fat little baby was. It was she's like, "Is it Gary?" I'm like, "No, it's not Gary." So it was pretty funny. But the resolution on that video was just so poor. So thankfully, this video, the resolution on it is a little bit better, and I've got a better internet connection here at my home. So it's nicer to should be able to have some decent videos that can stay up for a while. People can click on them, check them out, watch them. Maybe get a nice little following of tea people that want to check out our streams. And then maybe if I can get it all figured out with some multiple cameras and HDMI inbox, maybe I can actually start doing some little video game streaming on Twitch or something. Twitch and tea and games, gaming tea. I don't know. Come up with some fun name with it or something like that. Maybe get a little tea gamer clan going with some of the other tea people. Maybe everybody gets together and play some games online or something like that. It'd be kind of fun. I like watching the gamer streams and things. It's pretty cool. Be able to see the communities that form around these people that play a lot of these fun games online. And like I said, give me give me a chance, give me an excuse to play some more video games, which I'll at least be playing Cyberpunk 2077. Just so stoked for that game. So stoked. Who else is going to get that? Who else is going to play Cyberpunk 2077? When it finally comes out, have they pushed it back for the final time yet? We don't know. It's supposed to, I think it was actually supposed to be out like this weekend, right? Was it supposed to be out this weekend? I think it was supposed to be out like today or something like that. But they had to push it back another month. Totally okay with that. You know, wait till the product is done. Wait till the product's final. We all know that once the products are done anyways, there's going to be like, you know, you're going to get it, you're going to install it, you're going to launch the game, and you got to download like a 5-hour update anyways. So just let them work on the game. Let them get it polished. It'll be kind of fun. Tornham says, "Did you see the documentary All in This Tea?" I absolutely have. That's a really fascinating documentary. I think we had already started sourcing tea when we saw that documentary, and it was really interesting to compare and contrast like our experiences sourcing tea with his experiences sourcing tea. A lot has changed, and you know, he probably actually helped change a lot of things for the better. There was very much this idea when he was going to China sourcing tea. There was very much this idea that tea was a community product. You know, I mean, China is communist. It is a commune. It is a community. And there was very much this idea that tea was a community product. And they had a lot of difficulty understanding why somebody would not want the community product. They would want like the product that an individual creator made. You know, if he found like a farmer and he appreciated that farmer's material and he appreciated that farmer's skill and he wanted to buy that farmer's tea, and then like the local managers are like, great, yeah, we'll get you that tea. But what they meant is like they would get him a tea that matched the parameters of the tea that he was asking for, but he didn't want that. He wanted this person's tea. And there were a lot of like struggles between like this concept of individuality and the concept of the commune's tea. So they're like, yeah, we'll get you a green tea. He's like, no, I don't want a green tea. I want this tea. And but that's just kind of one of the side effects of a communist system is you kind of lose the identity of the individual. It becomes more about the commune, what can be produced as a group instead of what can be produced by an individual. We don't have that problem in Yunnan at all. There's absolutely, you actually are starting to see it just a little bit now. I think the communist government is actually trying to get a little bit tighter control on tea production in Yunnan. But at this time, I can find an individual farmer. I can find one that I like. I can look at what he does. I can look at what the farmer down the way does, and I can sit there and I'm like, I want to buy this exact thing, and I can literally just sit there and buy it directly, which I think is an absolute benefit for the end consumer to be able to know that your product is going to have a higher level of quality built in. So yeah, All in This Tea. If you haven't seen that documentary, if anybody wants to watch it, great documentary. Really, really well done. Let's see, what was that? Last I checked, was pushed back to the 10th, which is convenient, the day after classes end. See, that's even better. I do feel, Cyberpunk 2077 pushed back to December 10th. I empathize strongly with everybody who like took off a week from work ahead of time, thinking that Cyberpunk 2077 was going to be dropping that time, and then it didn't. Yeah, I empathize with them greatly. I feel bad. But you know, you don't want the game to be garbage. You don't want the game to come out and just be like, you know, dead on arrival. That'll do probably more damage than if they wait a month. But I understand the other arguments, like really, like a month. You know, are you going to really make the game just that much better in a month? The answer is probably yeah. Ronan says, you're trying to grow a beard. You're trying to grow a beard like mine. I can already use a hair tie. Nice. One of the things that I think helped me early on, I would tie. Oh yeah, I got it all tucked in. Sorry about that. Let me pull it out. I would tie little weights into the beard, and just kind of when it was small enough, just enough to kind of pull it down. Kept it growing straight. You know, I don't know, psychologically, maybe it made me think it was growing faster. I don't know if it did, but it certainly made it look like it was at least like straighter and longer, because kind of held it down just a little bit. But now the weight of it itself is long enough to keep it straight, which is pretty cool. You'll definitely catch up. This is about as long as my beard grows, so everybody's beard grows at different lengths. So yeah, just you grow what you can. That's the beard. It's the beard code. Everybody's beard grows different. If Ty wants to know how long it is unbraided, it's really not that much longer. Unbraiding it doesn't add too much, so something like that. Yeah, it's long enough. It's certainly in the Gandalf/wizard level of beard on the scale of beard. I don't know. I like my beard. It sounds like Baby Gary's awake. I can hear him in the back room. I hope he's not too loud. So, are there any other smaller, non-super intensive games that I could play, maybe on like an iPad or something like that? Anybody got any recommendations for like small type games? Just enjoying playing Among Us. I thought that was kind of fun. What did I download the other day that I always want to do? One of those like bridge simulator games. You drive your truck across the bridge. Those are kind of fun. That's about all I have time for. Is kind of like light, low weight games where I don't have to like spend a lot of like time and focus on there, because I still it's very easy for me to get distracted. I fall into my old habits of just like, I'm just going to sit down and play this game for 10 hours. But when you don't have 10 hours, there's just nothing. It's just you just can't do it. Shadowrun games. That's right. I think I have the last Shadowrun game. At least I had it for macOS. That was a while back. I was actually part of a Shadowrun photo shoot, like when that game came out, 2014-ish. I kind of helped with some props. I was an orc. I had big teeth, lots of guns. It was a fun photo shoot. There's pictures out there somewhere. It was all kind of like cosplay-ish. It was pretty cool. That was a while ago now. Shadowrun's a lot of fun. Shadowrun takes place in Seattle, in case you don't know. Stardew Valley. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I wanted to also try and maybe like get Lamo into some interesting little games. I think Stardew Valley might be a fun one for her. I saw that on the iPad store. Maybe I'll grab a copy of that, see if she kind of likes it. I'm trying to get Lamo into just some more like little casual games and stuff. She grew up being really interested in games, but not being able to play them. That was like what her cousins did. So her cousins always played the games. They would make her watch. So she really enjoys like watching me play games, but she doesn't enjoy playing them as much. But yeah, I think something like Stardew Valley could be a lot of fun. Maybe I'll grab a copy of that and let her play it. Ro uses an emulator. Play old Game Boy games. That's it. That's the answer. That's how you do it. Regular Game Boy or Game Boy Advance. I still have a lot of fun games. I really like Final Fantasy Tactics Advance on the Game Boy Advance. That was a lot of fun. Got a Game Boy Advance right here somewhere. Yeah, fun games. Did a lot of stuff on the Nintendo DS. I liked Animal Crossing on the Nintendo DS and a bunch of the other games in that category. Those are fun games. BG3, is that Battleground? Battleground 3 is pretty intensive. Surprised how much you need for it. It looks excellent, though. Yeah, I do not. Anything that I ran would have to be on iPad or PS4 if I got a PS4 eventually. I don't have a physical like gaming PC, so it's kind of make do with what I got. Oh, Baldur's Gate, right? Sorry, gotcha. Baldur's Gate 3. I don't know. When did Baldur's Gate 3 come out? I don't know if I was really into. I still play a decent amount of. Well, I don't know. I haven't played it in a while, but I still enjoy playing Diablo 3 a lot. But I'm playing it on like a 10-year-old computer, so it doesn't look as amazing as it does on some of the other guys' computers. But I still like playing a little Diablo every now and then. Llama will play Diablo with me. Do a little cooperative monster smashing. Llama's all about the gold. She just wants to pick up gold. That's her whole game. That's what I need. Llama's an accountant. She likes collecting and counting money. That's what I need. I need like a virtual accounting game. Brandon J. What's up, man? Have you checked in on 2016 Emerald Sea in a while? I've only got two cakes in your tongue left. Beside when it's gone, Emerald Sea 2016 is an incredible tea. It has aged amazingly. It's really awesome. And we only have it here in our Seattle inventory. We still have cakes. We still have cakes of it. I've got maybe like 20 tones left, something like that. Probably less, maybe like 15 tones left. That's a tea. I'm telling you guys, I mentioned in the last stream, like if you do not have 2016 Beneath an Emerald Sea, you need to get it because that tea is just too good. Too good. And especially since it's already got, like 4 years of age on it. Perfect. What do you gotta wait for? Okay, Joseph Burton. Only part of the Baldur's Gate is playable. It's a little janky. Yeah, like I said, I've got a PS3. I'll play some stuff on that every now and then. When we moved, I lost all my discs. I used to like Black Ops 2. Played that a lot on there, but it's been a while. It's really easy for me to just get sucked deep into those games, and then I just don't have the time to really put into other stuff. So I gotta pace it. Gotta go slow. But like I said, it'd be fun. It'd be fun to do a tea and gaming stream, especially if it was I don't know, maybe cooperative. If it was a story-based game, kind of like a story RPG, like Cyberpunk 2077. Maybe people on the stream could help me figure out what to do, where to go, what clan to join, what path to take. I generally like to do the more of the cyber hacking, quiet stealth approach. I don't know, just seems to vibe with me personally. Deus Ex. I really enjoyed Deus Ex. I got a copy of Deus Ex right here somewhere. I love just anything in the cyberpunk genre. I think it's just super fun stuff. Just really, really creative stuff. That's why I kind of like Shadowrun and all of those. This tea's really nice right now. Super mellow. Definitely took a handful of steeps to kind of get through that slumbering dragon intensity, but it's super mellow, super sweet right now. This is a tea that rewards a little patience. Rose talking about a Dolphin emulator for GameCube and Wii games. Yeah, I've ran through a handful of emulators. I built like a little Raspberry Pi emulator box, and I would play games and stuff on that. And I'll probably, maybe when the kids get a couple years older, I'll probably set up a fun little emulator like that, and let them learn on like the original Legend of Zelda, like I did. Maybe get them to cut their teeth on some old school games, so they've got a little bit of nostalgia for the way things were. It's hard to go back, if you jump right into like something like Breath of the Wild, and then you got to go back to like Legend of Zelda original gold card version. It's just hard. But if you start with that, especially when you're a kid, like your imagination, your creativity. What I remember, like my experiences with the original Legend of Zelda being like I was Link, like I was there. I was like immersed. Like that's who I was. You go back and look at it now, you're like, oh, it doesn't match like the memory I had in my mind of that experience. It'd be kind of nice to be able to give my kids that same thing, but all in good time. They've got plenty of stuff to do right now with their coloring books. Although Gemma did turn 4 years old last week, and she got a chess set from her dad for Christmas. So she and I have been playing a little bit of chess in the evenings. She's done learning how the pieces move. She knows the names of all the pieces. She knows how to set up the board herself, and she's getting there. She's working on. She's becoming a little chess master. Plasmaphobia is a pretty popular game right now. Not sure if it's OS X though. I'll have to check that out. I don't know. I don't know what Plasmaphobia is. I am out of the loop on a lot of games apparently. Joseph Burton says his Raspberry Pi is sitting on my desk with no monitor right now. You need to pick up an old one from the thrift shop. Yeah, just get a cheap little something. Even like a little cheap HDMI TV. That's all you need. Actually, I've got a really cool. Back when like the original iMacs, like you guys remember, like the Bondi blue iMac. Everybody was making stuff in like that same translucent blue, and I've got this little tiny iMac clone. It's like this big. It looks exactly like the original like Bondi blue iMac, but it's only this big, and it was like a little tiny clock. I want to pull the clock guts out, and I want to put in like a little like 2.5 inch, like LCD screen with a little Raspberry Pi in the back, and make like this little tiny like portable iMac. It's entirely useless on those tiny screens, but I don't know, it just entertains me. I don't even know what I would use it for. Maybe like a little video game player or something like that. Let the kids like watch some music on it or something. I don't know. Brandon J just ordered another tong of emerald. Should have ordered some 2020 samples. You got excited. People should definitely jump on that hotness. Yeah, if you ordered if you ordered the Emerald Sea, if you ever order something and then forgot and wanted to order something else, you can just order it and then let us know, and then we combine it and then just refund the difference in shipping. So we try to make it as easy as possible. So, but that's cool. Yeah, jumping on the Emerald Sea is the way to go. I'll check your order. Did you order the 2018 or the 2016? Because I don't think the 2016 is sold by the tone right now. But if you bought 5, I would ship like a tone of it, so you'd have a tone to open them. Hey, Holiday says, I have so many monitors. My father was getting them from work almost monthly for a bit. They never wanted them back, so I ended up with them. For a long time, I had a very decent number of monitors as well. Like my office would, when I was working for Second Life, I'd go through some, monitors. And they'd be like, yeah, we got a bunch of these monitors in the office, and they're a year old now, and we don't want them. And you can buy them for $10 from the company. So I would always be buying them up, just sell them right on Craigslist for $50 easy, make a little cash on the side. But I still have a bunch of them around. But then I noticed, like, I don't know, maybe I left them out in the garage too long. The colors are all off of them. I tried plugging a Raspberry Pi into one of them, like, I don't know, it's like red and blue were switched somehow, and so I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with those. So, but I am actually getting a new machine or a used machine from a friend that I might use for setting up some like a dedicated like streaming station. I'm gonna have to get a new monitor. I'm like, man, I don't actually. It's like the first time I'm like, I don't have like a spare monitor around. I usually always have a spare something. Bronson Karev says, regarding chess, definitely watch The Queen's Gambit on Netflix now. It's great. It is great. If anybody wants to watch a really awesome show that's like 7 episodes long, Queen's Gambit's awesome. Queen's Gambit is so great. So I started watching it, and then I saw the trailer, and I'm like, all right, you got to stop watching it. Let me get caught up. We'll finish watching it together. So good. It's so good. It's a really, really good show. It's one of those shows where it feels like documentary-ish, and I really want it to be a true story. I mean, it's not a true story. It could have been, but they put it together really well. I think they really captured that, kind of like Cold War-ish world chess scene with, like the Soviets and America, and I don't know. I thought it was great. I mean, if you guys are looking for something to binge on this weekend, Queen's Gambit, like hands down, just go for it. Really, really good show. Very, very well put together. Loved it. Joseph Burton says he put a micro ATX PC in an NES case in high school. It was pretty cool. That's awesome. So I did something similar. I took I found like this little wooden like treasure box. It was like about like this big. I don't know. Is that just like my local store, Fred Meyer, whatever, down the street. But it hinged. This is one of like my first, like, I'm going to learn how to make something projects. I had a spare iMac Revision A, like very first one. And they weren't really good for much back then. So that was like 2005. So they had, kind of like past its prime. But I figured out how to wire like a generic power supply up to it, opened it up, gutted it out. Like the actual board on it was only like this big. So I mounted the board inside of it, added all sorts of like cool like light kits, drilled some holes underneath so it kind of like glowed, put some like fans and stuff on there, and actually had like a little padlock on the front so you could lock it because it was like a little treasure chest. And then I just ran it purely as a headless server, just running, just OSX, managed everything on the command line. But the funniest thing was my friend was working at a data farm at the time. And he forged whatever paperwork was needed and just got it stuck on the shelf. And so it actually sat in a data center in Seattle for like 10 years. And it became part of their tour. Like, hey, we'll host anything. Look at this. We host a wooden box. And then that would be my wooden box, just power and Ethernet cable running into the back of it. That was hilarious. Those were good times. Ran tons of stuff off of that server. That was good times. Good times back in the day. Yeah, I like fun, creative PC, different boxes and things like that. It's kind of cool. So taking a PC and putting it into an NES box. You'll have to send me some pictures of that. I'd like to see that. That'd be pretty cool. Nice, Brandon. 2016 cakes, dude. You know how to hit the hammer. Move. Something's ready to go. Just take it. Just bite it. Because we're probably going to have to be making that tea more expensive, probably starting the first week in January. So now is the absolute right time to buy it. So I'll send you an entire tongue and 2 extra cakes of those. I'll probably maybe be able to pack some orders later tonight, and I'll be sure to get that out. And maybe if you're lucky, I'll toss in a little sample of a baby dragon or something, just for fun. Let's see. Hey, Holiday. What do they say? Sometimes I'm losing track. Looks good, but looks discomforting in a bad way. I don't even know what we're talking about. I'm losing track. Rose says, I had a bunch of old parts, but no case, so I turned on Amazon cardboard box into a PC. Dude, that's the best. I love it when, in fact, one of the funniest servers I saw was a guy that had just like hung all the parts on a like on a metal or like a big giant wooden jacket clothes hanger, and he just had all the pieces just hanging on that. And that was his server closet, which was literally like his closet, and he just had like the server just hanging, all the pieces hanging on there by wires. I thought that was hilarious. Yeah, a lot of times you don't really need like the big fancy cases and all that stuff. Although these days with like the machines and stuff these kids make with all like the it's just come so far from where I began with all the fancy water cooling, and oh man, the machines they make these days look like they're just straight out of the future science fiction with all sorts of fun light kits and water cooling and giant fans. Just looks great. Realistically, when it comes down to it, I'm more about the performance than the looks. But man, some of the cases and the case mods and stuff. I mean, I remember back in the day when like everything was like beige, and it was like that dumb color of beige that kind of like faded into this tobacco stained yellow after a year, and that was it. You got beige or beige, and then I think Apple kind of really changed some things like with the iMac, and everyone just made fun of them at the beginning, but I think it kind of made people like maybe take design of PC cases a little bit more seriously maybe. Hey, to Holiday's going to run. Hey man, have a good one. I'll probably do one long last steep with this tea and probably call it good too. So thanks for tuning in. It was nice to see you guys. How do I handle drinking tea so late? It's only 5 o'clock here, 5 p.m. That's not too late. We generally run pretty late here at Crimson Lotus Tea. China's about to start waking up, so we're gonna have to start working with like vendors and things over there and packages and stuff like that. So, and I'm just a night owl by blood. So I mean, if I get to bed before 2, that's a rare day. So it just makes sense for me to just kind of drink in the afternoons. And also, this is the time when the kids are taking a nap, although he's woken up. He usually sleeps from like 2 to 5 or 2 to 4 or something like that. So if I'm going to do a live tea tasting or something, I try to like slide it in right then. So otherwise this place actually doubles as the kids playroom. So this is my tea corner. That's the playroom, and things get a little loud. Things get a little loud in here. What? How late do you? When do you usually stop drinking tea? Whew, this is nice. Really nice session. Yeah, Ty, that specific beige is such a hateful color. It absolutely is. And they used it for everything. Like I just can't stand to this day like that beige and just the way it just turned into just like that nasty yellow. Such a disgusting color. So bad. So bad. Yeah, you're right. It's not a good color. So I'm very glad that they've moved into nicer colors, at least blacks and silvers and aluminum bodies or stainless steel bodies and stuff. I mean, that's just kind of timeless. Although when it comes to laptops, I think the last laptop that I was really excited about the design of was probably like my Mac OS, my Macintosh PowerBook, the Pismo PowerBook, the Tuxedo one that had like this like hard black plastic, but kind of like this rubber plastic thing running down the center of it. Just love that design. Still do. Still really Jones for that design. The new ones with like the fancy all aluminum unibody construction are just gorgeous machines, but it's that Tuxedo Pismo PowerBook. That's where the design peaked for me. Oh, this is fun. I enjoy geeking out over old computer nostalgia. So it's nice to know that some of my customers, not only do you appreciate fine tea in your life, you also have a fun history with computers and things like that too. Makes me happy. James Wood stops drinking tea at 3 p.m. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, if you know that that's your limit, you probably get to bed earlier than I do. We're just up so late. Our kids don't even go to bed till 9 o'clock. So yeah, this is the time I've got. This is the time I got to drink tea. Mornings are so like stressed and rushed, with kids and their Zoom classes and getting them dressed and fed. My mornings are just shot. All of a sudden it's like noon, and then the morning's all gone. So I take the time when I can. She'll steep that a little bit longer. Oh, Ro asks, have I seen the design of the ZenBook Duo? Tell you what, I'll open up a tab, check it out, see if that killed my stream or not. ZenBook Duo. Let's see what we got there. Brandon J, did you ever let on what material Emerald City was? I did not. I did not let on what the blend was exactly. Good stuff. All good stuff. Sorry to go on about it. I even prefer its profile to Metal Laban John cakes. That's awesome. And that is kind of the point. I found material I really liked. I theorized the blend. Theory crafted it in my head for about a year before that. I'm like, Mom, I want to blend this. I want to blend this. And she's like, okay, fine, whatever. Let's just sell the tea that we have first. See if we can actually even afford anything next year. So that would have been 2015. That was just our second production. We're still pretty small. And I was like, dude, I think this blend can really work. Thought about it for a year, made some little tests with different cakes that I had of similar material, and then once I was able to go there and buy enough of the material and work it out and blend it and put it together, it's really great to be able to see that, see it come together. The other one that I'm probably really excited about is Jade Rabbit. Jade Rabbit, I also had a pretty strong focus on how I wanted to put that material together as well, and I think Jade Rabbit, although Jade Rabbit's definitely pricier, I think it's going to be another long-term aging hits. It's pretty decent right now, but I think it's going to get better in another 5 years or so. Oh, Joseph Burton says water cooling is neat, but it makes your room hot. Like my PC is a room heater. Well, see, there you go. It just that's just beneficial. You just save money on heating your home. Just run your machine. All right, I forgot. I was looking up the so Asus does the ZenBook Duo. Yeah, that's not too bad. Nice, sleek, clean and clear. Tell you what though, Pismo, it's the Pismo PowerBook. Where's that at? I don't know. You gotta look at the back of it. Where's that? Try to find it. No. Can't find any good pictures. All the pictures are old. But yeah, I think it was the Pismo PowerBook. That was the one. That was the one that did it for me. Yeah, the ZenBook Duo looks really nice. But I really liked the Pismo PowerBook had like these two hot swappable bays that you could just like, if you wanted to run like two batteries, or just chunk two batteries in, you could actually like swap out a battery like while this one was going and keep it going. Pull this one out, like slide in extra hard drive, slide in like some extra RAM, like slide in like a CD drive. I just really like the interchangeability of it. Modern computers are just they're just so finite, especially laptops. They don't really see a lot of it. There we go. I found a good picture. I'll post it into the chat. Let's see if I can open image in new tab. Yeah, I don't know. There you go. That was it. That was my idea. I just thoroughly loved the design of the Pismo PowerBook. Love the keyboard screen on the Duo. Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. Checking out some of the pictures on kind of how that works. That's I got it. Yeah, that actually is pretty. It's pretty sexy. Does it actually slide in and out, or is it? I don't know. That's pretty cool. I'm not really seeing the design like that. That's interesting how that works. I'm getting a little bit more serious about like laptop ergonomics though, as I spend more and more time kind of like looking down like this. So I don't really know if I want to like have like a screen that I'm looking at, like down here more often than lately. I'll take my laptop, put it up on a stand, and use an external keyboard and mouse, just because I spend so much time on this laptop. Like all the graphic design that we do is on this laptop, all the video editing I do, I mean every single thing, site design stuff, and too many years of kind of like being like hunched over down like that. It's not really, I don't know, long-term effects of that stuff starting to show, and posture. So you really got to kind of take that stuff into account. Joseph Burton, he wants a new hard disk drive for your laptop. Yeah, you're gonna go STD or standard old school spinny type. Yeah, like I said, I've got a friend who's given me some older hardware that he's not using anymore. So I'm excited about getting some new computer blood. Some new computer blood into the house. I can't remember. In fact, this MacBook here in 2013 is maybe the last actual like hardware that I bought new, at least. Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like. I mean, I've been rocking this MacBook Air for like the last 7 years or so, and I wish I had just put in a little bit more money into getting the a larger internal SSD on it, because they're not replaceable. And that's the I think it's only got like 128 gigs right now, and so it's always killing me. I'm always like dying and running out of space. I got to do everything on external hard drives, and that's so you can only do that so much. So I've got all these like internal mappings going to different like folders on the desktop that are supposed to linked up to hard drives, just so that I can get some of the apps to work with an expanded thing. So yeah, I absolutely need a larger hard drive in my laptop. Third Eye Boogie VM. Haven't had good tea in months. Why not? What's the excuse? There's no excuse. There's no excuse to not have good tea in months. I can understand not having good tea in a few days, but not having good tea in months, there's no excuse for that. CrimsonLotusTea.com. It's got some good tea. Go ahead and just order yourself up some nice stuff. We do have a Seattle inventory, if you guys don't know. I think most of you do, but I've got a decent collection of tea that actually ships from the Seattle inventory. We get packages out usually twice a week. We're pretty busy here, but certainly put an effort on trying to get packages out like twice a week. So if you order something, it will probably arrive relatively quickly. It will arrive much quicker than it would arrive if it was coming from China. Speaking of postal delivery and interesting stuff, I have put a great amount of research into finding out what happened to 19 packages that we lost in San Francisco on the 18th of January. It's a very interesting mystery. They were all China Post. They were all e-packet. They all came in. 19 packages of ours all have the exact same timestamp, 2:12 p.m. and 2:13 p.m. They were all lost within a minute of each other. And it's been a really big mystery. USPS says that they're in customs. Call custom. Customs says we never received them. They're at the International Sorting Center. International Sorting Center, you can never ever get a hold of them. So that's just impossible. Yeah, it's been a really big mystery. But this week I finally made some progress. I had to go down. I actually had to walk into my local post office and talk with the supervisor there in person and be like, "Hey, man, you just got to help me out. This has been like 60 days. These packages are gone. It's a mystery." Packages that arrived at ISC the day before that, all arrived. Final destination. Packages that arrived the day after, all arrived at their final destination. Something about September 18th, 2:12 and 2:13 p.m. 19 of our packages coming from China, gone, just like that. So I had him do a search and take a look at some of these packages, which you're not really supposed to do because the e-packet, nobody really cares. Nobody cares on the China Post side about it. Nobody cares on the USPS side about it. They'll take your money, and they have absolutely no guarantee, no research, no anything. So trying to actually kind of beg and cajole somebody to actually do a little research for us has been a month's worth of work with the USPS. I was able to figure out that it's not just my packages. All of the packages that are in that package containing unit, whether it's a big metal container or if it's a bag or box or whatever, all of the packages, because they can actually figure out like the actual number, the ID of that box. And there's more than just my packages in there. There's a bunch of people's packages in there. None of them have been delivered. They all have a final timestamp of September 18th, 2:12 or 2:13 p.m. So I was able to determine that there's a lot of packages that they're missing. And I was like, huh, wow, that's interesting. So he finally was able to call some people, work out some things, figure out Customs actually doesn't have it, ISC doesn't know where it is, and he's trying to push it up the chain, see if we can figure out where these packages are. So hopefully some customers who may have thought that they lost some packages, in fact, we've actually refunded a bunch of them already, hopefully they will actually be delivered. It's been my one of the two package mysteries this year. The other one's in Shanghai, and there's no way that China Post would be as accommodating as USPS is. So that's definitely says something. All right, lost track of the chat. Actually, I probably need to wind this tea tasting down. Figure out what the last things you guys had to say. Money is the reason why you haven't had a good tea in months. Yeah, I totally understand. This is not the year to, I don't know. This is, you want to support businesses, you want to support community, but everybody's hurting these years. So I totally understand. Send me a private message if there's something that you want on our site that you really need to have. Let me know. I'll see what I'll see what we can do. Let me know what your budget is. See if I can get you something pretty awesome in that category. We like to try and help people out. I know that tea is an awesome force for good in our life, and we know it's an awesome force for good in other people's lives, and we're excited to are happy for the opportunity to be able to share that with other people. So if you need amazing tea in your life and you can't afford it, let me know. We'll see if we can work something out. Someone pulled a heist to steal the tea. Yeah. I don't know. You never know. I don't know. I was specifically worried that maybe our packages were flagged by the FDA or something for some reason, some random check, but they never actually made it to customs. So I was talking with this hilarious woman at customs. She was awesome, incredibly informative. I don't even know how I got her number. She called me back at like 8 o'clock one evening. And I was just like, hello, who's this? And she's like, I'm such and such down at Border Patrol. And I panicked for a minute until I realized she was talking about packages. She's like, most of the time when people are missing packages, they don't give me a call, because the reason they're missing packages is because I've found guns or drugs or ammunition or other illegal stuff in there. And for some reason, when those packages don't get delivered, nobody really gives me a call. And I was just like, well, that's a very valid observation. And she's like, so the fact that you gave me a call meant that your package probably doesn't have guns or ammunition or illegal drugs in it. I'm like, yeah, no, you're right. It doesn't. So she actually was able to help me out a lot trying to kind of figure out like next steps on where these packages are at. That was pretty funny. But who knows? The great tea heist, the great San Francisco. It is San Francisco International Sorting Center. They do like their tea. Bay Area. Probably the largest concentration of our tea customers are actually in the San Francisco Bay Area. They love their tea down there. All right, guys. I think I am going to call it here. This has been a lot of fun. I really enjoy being able to do these sessions. I thank everybody for tuning in. I hope you guys have a really good weekend. I'll try to get another tea tasting in as soon as I can. Maybe we'll do the 2020 Beneath an Emerald Sea. I have actually not drank the pressed final cake. I've had spent a lot of time with like the pre-pressed blend, but I've not actually sat down for a session with the final cake. And so maybe I can do that. Maybe I can do that with everybody live. We can drink it together, experience it together, which would be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for that, and that or some other tea. We'll do something else. If anybody has any idea about things to do on streams or teas you want me to drink or things you want me to talk about, send me a message or make a comment, and I'll see what I can do to incorporate that. And I'm going to see what I can do about get some different camera setup things, maybe make the streams work a little bit more efficiently. But yeah, thanks guys. Really appreciate this. Have a good weekend.